hi. And we're going to talk about the latest leaked pictures of the wave 3 of the Barbie Looks dolls and some things that I noticed in the picture that I thought were relevant things that we should be thinking about. And some of the differences between those dolls and the dolls that have previously been released already. So we're going to switch the orientation and give me one second. Figure this out. I'm in my kid's room, so I'm not in my comfort zone. But we gonna figure it out, okay? So, right now, accompanying me in here, because there's none of my dolls are in here, are my twins, eBay and Anais, and one of these dolls that I actually did like a little bit of a, what do you call it, like a custom work on. I don't think I got a chance to show you guys a better close-up of her before. So this is the Brooklyn character from the new Barbie Life in the City series. And she does originally come with an open mouth smile, but I had to close the lips, you guys. I just couldn't stand looking at the teeth. So I got rid of them. I think I gave her a little bit more freckles than what she already had, just a little bit more. And I think that's pretty much all I did to her. And obviously I had to draw new lips, and then I pierced her ears. Then I put her onto this Made to Move petite body, which is originally from one of the Barbie Looks dolls, the one that has the Tamika face sculpt with the burgundy hair. So she's got one of those bodies, and it seems to match her face just fine. I don't really see any discrepancies in the coloring. So now she's a little petite girl, and I'm still contemplating if I want to do more to her, if I want to keep her, or if I want to sell her. I don't really know. So for now, she's just hanging out in my Dollyverse, but I wanted to give her a different look. Like, I wanted her to look a little more sophisticated than how she came when I bought her. And I feel like I'm kind of pulling that off. But anyway, so that's who I got over there. And then these two girls. This one is Anais. This one is eBay. They're supposed to be twins, but y'all, honestly, it's the same exact doll. To me, they look different. Like, I can tell the difference between the two immediately. I don't have to like study their faces to try to figure it out, which I do have to do a lot of times with my other set of twins that I have, Reagan and Sierra. So I think they just already came very different looking. I couldn't make up my mind about which one I wanted to keep out on display as part of my main collection. So I decided to just make them twins. And she's supposed to be the older sister, younger sister. And like I said, to me, their faces look quite different from one another, even though it's the same sculpt, the same makeup. It's supposed to be the same, but just the way they drew the faces on. And also her skin is a little more matte than hers, which is weird. So her like face is a little shinier, and then this one has a very flat matte kind of finish. I don't know how that's possible, you guys, but I'm telling the truth. I'm not imagining it. Like, with my eyes, I can see the difference. I don't know if it shows on camera. But anyway, so if you want to see close-up pictures of these guys, I'm still kind of working on them. I changed a little tiny bit on her face by removing some of the makeup from the bottom of her eyes and also tweezing her eyebrows. I made them slightly thinner than they already were. And she's got a little beauty mark here or hers is on this side and this one's is on that side. So that's the only changes that I've made to them so far. And I'm contemplating if I want to do anything else to them more drastic than that. And then of course I did paint their fingernails as well. And that's it. All right, so now let's study these pictures right quick. Shout out to my other doll tubers. Specifically, I dolled it for you, Hi Treese and Barbie's GBF. They have been sharing a lot of information about these dolls and the leaked photos, of course, and their take on things. So I appreciate them a lot. And you guys, they're good channels and accounts for you to follow if you're into adults who are making content for other grown-ups. All right, so I highly suggest that we do that. Now I did something different, y'all. I did something a little bit different here. What I'm doing is I'm gonna show you guys. Hi, King Ja. Thank you. I want you guys to chime in and tell me what you think. In these photos, they're just so blurry and hard to see details that I told my son Ginu, who is an artist, this is his tablet that he does a lot of his digital work on, and that is his art back there. Ginu, I asked him to give me his own rendition of what he thinks their faces might look like up close, because it's so difficult to see them in the blurry shots. And this is like a blown up picture on this big tablet that I'm using, but like on your phone it's so much harder to see their sculpts. And I'm interested in their face, you feel me, the most, but we're going to talk about their clothes too. And this is another picture of them that we have been seeing online. So it's so hard to see their details. So I thought I was going to do this so we can kind of like zoom in and really try to study what their faces might be looking like. And another thing is that I asked you to give me a sketch of what he thinks that the faces might look like in a little bit more detail so we can get a better idea, because there's writing covering the top of the image. Obviously, these are leaked photos. They're not supposed to be accessed by the public, but we're gonna try to figure this out. So, hi Pamsy. So, I'm gonna show you guys what these are the original photos, but I'm gonna show you how they look without with my son's drawing on top of it, okay? So let's start with this one, and this is just his own interpretation of what he thinks they might look like. So this is the images that he came up with for their facial sculpts, possibly what they might be looking like. And this guy, from what we can see, now I don't know, all of these dolls are made to move. It's possible that the boys have different body types, but I highly doubt it. I don't think that they do. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say no, they don't. But, I mean, that would be interesting if they did, right? Just the way that the photos look, at first I thought, based on the poses, that one of them might have even been like a broad Ken, but I really don't think that they are. I just think it's the way that the photos look. And then, here's a little bit closer looks at the other people, the other dolls. And then I'm going to show you the other sketch too that he did for the other shot of the 6 of them all lined up, because they look slightly different than this. And he's really just going based off of the blurry pictures that we're looking at. This one makes me laugh. I was like, Ginu, I don't think that that doll's going to end up looking like this. And he had to really like work with that one, because it's so hard to see the details because her skin tone is so dark. So let me show you the other one. And y'all tell me if you think that his interpretation might be even close to what we end up with, right? Let's see. Let's add this layer. Okay, so I love the way he did this one. Like, that would be dope if she really looked like that. And this one is pretty cute. How cute. Oh my goodness. I hope he's somewhat close to what these dolls end up looking like. I do like this version better than the first version. But you can see here the outline that he did here over the eyes, that there's probably makeup there. Uh-oh, I messed it up. What did I do? I don't know how to use this thing. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Ginu. I didn't mean to mess up your picture. And then here's the other one. So, I do think they probably have makeup on, the girls, based on the way that his sketches are looking. And this one, this guy, in this version, he said it looked like he could have facial hair. So he traced what he thinks the facial hair might be looking like. And then this is the guy that was sitting in the other picture. My husband says he could probably pass for like a Malaysian guy or something, or maybe like a Filipino dude, a Samoan dude. Just the features that it looks like he might have. So again, here is the same picture without any drawing on top, and this is what we're seeing when we zoom in. So based on the facial sculpts, because I was trying to figure out, are they new sculpts or are they old sculpts reused? And that's why I wanted him to draw me these sketches, because I just want to get a better idea of what I'm looking at. It's so hard to tell from these little blurry photos. And I do think from looking at these photos and with the sketches on top that absolutely they are not old sculpts being reused. I do think they're a brand new set of sculpts that we have not seen yet mass produced. And let's look at this one again without it. See, like in this version, he wasn't seeing so much detail that looked like facial hair. So he said this was the version that he drew if like maybe he didn't have facial hair, maybe what he would look like. And then the other version was the one with the facial hair. Yeah. Okay, now let me just make sure I didn't miss any good comments here. Hang on, guys. Whoa, how do I check the comments? Oh, there we go. Not like I've done this before or anything. Oh my goodness. I really love the blonde Afro girl. That's what Pamsy said, and I think I like her the best too out of all of the ones that are on here right now. D said, hi, I love all of them. Hi, D. Your son's interpretation of the redhead is definitely my favorite. I do like the way it looked after he drew the pictures over them, the sketches over the faces, and I could kind of like see her features popping out. And then I was like, oh, okay. Because at first I was like, why they do a whole nother redhead? Like, we already have a redhead. We have a burgundy hair color and the other wave. You know, can we get more creative than that? That's how I was feeling at first. And because it's curly too, because in wave 2, the doll with the Heidi face sculpt, she has curly red hair. It's a slightly lighter shade than this. Her hair is more like an orangey color, and this one looks very authentic, like red. But still, I was like, y'all could do better than that, right? But then once I saw his sketch over it, I was like, okay, hold on a second. Maybe I'm judging her too soon, right? There's a rumor the yellow skirt Ken has a Superman MTM body. Not sure if that's true, though. Yeah, because the way that his stance looks, when you look at this shot, just the way his arms are spread out like that, it could be interpreted like he's like bigger, you know? It's like he's taking up more space. And then when you look at them side by side, though, if you look very carefully, to me, I don't think there's actually much of a difference in the sizing of the two bodies. And I know they wouldn't put two Kens in the same release with the same body sculpt. So, unless it's a regular one, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to put two broads in the same line together if there's only two Kens being released. So, that's just my opinion, but I mean, I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, but usually my predictions are pretty on point. Let's see. King Josh said, I love all of them. He does a really great job. I want them all. Said it's a doll's life. Definitely 2 of the blonde. Pamsy said, can never have enough redheads. And I have to agree with you there. I have a whole separate collection of just redheads going on for reals. D, I heard somebody say the doll with the high ponytail uses the Carl face mold. I'm not sure if this is true, right? And it's so hard to tell because these pictures are crazy blurry. So that's why I told him I want you to draw what you think you see there. Of course, his eyesight is much better than me. He can zoom in really, really good on this surface that he's working with, and from what he could see, this was what he came up with. Let me compare her face to the other version that he did. Let me see if they look even similar to each other. Look at this. I don't think Mattel's gonna make their doll with this much expression on the face, but but wouldn't that be awesome though if they did? I love the way he did this one. She looks kind of like almost a little bit sad. And I love when my dolls have expressions on their faces, you know, when you can kind of read into like, what are you thinking about? I love that. I wish she did look like that. And maybe I'll repaint one of them to make it look similar to the way he did it. Because here she doesn't look sad at all. She looks like, what's good? Where we going tonight? What you doing? That's how she looks here. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Hi Sophia. I wish Mattel would just put these dolls in stores already. People will buy them. And that's so true too. Viola Van Veen. Hello, darling, from Fan Viola in Germany. Hi, how are you? Oh, speaking of Germany, maybe she'll be my German girl. I'm looking for a doll that I want to turn into a German girl. So that would be kind of cool. Yeah, so now let me tell you about my thoughts on the entire line as a whole, though, all right? Firstly of all, I was very concerned that these dolls have this multicolor thing going on, okay? And some people might have been like, well, it's a pride thing. They're trying to give homage to the pride movement. That's what this is. You could look at it like that, However, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I don't think that's exactly what's going on here, because why is the color pink all of a sudden showing up in this rainbow? I don't remember a pink in any rainbows. So, like, if that's what they was going for, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like you would have random pink in there. So, to me, I don't think that this is a pride related thing. Although you could probably look at it that way if you just want to look at it that way. I really just think they were trying to go with the color block look and keeping the monochromatic thing going, where it's like basically one color at a time, but they kind of mixed multiple colors at a time to do that, as weird as that sounds. And I was very concerned about this because I felt like, let's not water down this line, y'all. Like, it's already going good. We're already doing our thing. The pattern is working for you. Let's just stick with what's working, right? So I really thought they were going to do just one or two colors at a time for the entire line. The reason why, even though at first this was like kind of concerning to me, because I felt like you're degrading the quality of the clothes, like, unnecessarily. That's what I thought, you know? I don't know. But the reason why I'm letting some of this slide is because when I look at each individual piece, for the most part, they're pretty much one color. Like, the top is one color mainly. You know, the bottoms are one color mainly. And the stuff that have split colors, it's not really more than two colors in those pieces. Like this one, and that one. So it'll be easier to mix match these outfits when you separate everything, which is a plus. And it's still plain. There's no writing on the clothes, no symbols on the clothes, no artwork on the clothes. Everything's very simple. So I think that it would be a lot easier for people to mix match these clothes with other pieces they already have in their wardrobes, just like the original two waves before this one would allow you to do. You can mix match these clothes because they're plain, right? And that has not been lost here. So to me, that's a plus. I can work with that. And also the style and the cut of the clothing, it doesn't look like the usual stuff you would see on like a fashionista's doll, or one of these like budget dolls. They look like, you know, they put a little bit of thought into the actual like style of the clothing. Like her top, it's not just like a plain green shirt. It has, you can see that they like, you know, it kind of like cinches here in the middle, and it's not just a simple shirt, if that makes sense what I'm saying. I'm bad at describing clothes. I'm not a fashion person, but you know what I'm trying to say, right, guys? Like, you know, like his pants, they're clearly supposed to be like some skinny jeans or something. And she's got on like bell bottoms. She got a little crop top on. I keep doing that. Sorry, Gina. I don't know how to undo it. Let me see. Let me try. Ooh, I figured it out. Okay. So when I look at that, like even this shirt, see how it's like this little crisscross thing going on? I can tell they put a little bit of thought into the cut of the clothing, the style of the clothing. So because of that, I think that it will be kind of unfair to say, well, they just threw anything on the dolls. You know, when you see them all together like this, it's distracting to me, all the colors. But when you're looking at them just like individually, I can see where they were trying to go with this. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just look at, you know what I'm saying? When you don't look at the whole thing at one time, you can kind of swallow it in little bits, you know? See, like these two look like they could be displayed next to each other and the colors kind of go together. That's what I'm seeing, right? So I don't mind that. Sorry. Okay, and then we've got body types here. We're looking at, I want to say she's a curvy. She looks petite. I think, I'm not sure, but I think this one is the regular body type, and she perhaps is a tall body. I don't know for sure with these two because they look so similar, but the reason why I would say that is because she's got like a leg bent, and she looks like she's like the same height as her, even though her leg is bent. If she straightens this leg out and stands up straight because she's kind of hunched over, she might be taller. So that's why I'm thinking it's probably this one that's tall. But it's possible that there is no tall doll in this wave at all. I mean, it's possible. I just highly doubt that that's so because of how the trend has been going with the first two waves. And everybody has made to move bodies, of course, which is the number one thing. But another concern that I have is that we don't have a darker Ken doll. Everybody is still waiting for their, like, remember when all we had for the boys was Steve for a long time, and Steve had a very specific skin tone, which is really similar to this doll's skin tone right here. And this color was being used predominantly for black Ken dolls. So even if it didn't have the Steve head sculpt, whatever sculpt they were using for a Ken doll, a lot of times if it was a black guy, they would be having this skin tone for him. So I'm still waiting for them to come out with Made to Move or any articulated body, really, to be honest, in that skin tone that I just showed you. And these guys are not that dark. So that's a little bit of a concern, because I just feel like, how many different waves of dolls do we need to wait for before we finally get that color, you know? It's like we've been waiting painstakingly for that. And then this one, I don't know. Do you guys think she is the same skin tone as them? Or that she's a little bit lighter than them? I'm not sure what to think when I look at the pictures. Because such a deep, dark brown color that it could be, but at the same time, because I can't see any features on this doll's face, really. I mean, if Genu didn't have an imagination, we'd just be guessing here. So, let me see if I can erase this little thing. I accidentally smudged his thing. But anyway, so I don't know if it is the same skin tone, but that will be interesting if it is, because I think she's got a different body type than her. So if it is the same skin tone, it's not a total drawback, because now you would have two different body types with this skin tone that's very difficult to find. But if not, then that means that she's probably the next skin tone that's a little shade lighter than that one, which is the same as, I want to say, or close to, the BMR 1959 doll with the big ponytail, the black ponytail. She had a curvy body type and the Pazette head sculpt. That one is a shade darker, I mean a shade lighter than this doll here. And also the Made to Move body yoga doll with, what sculpt does she have? I want to say her sculpt is what is her head sculpt? For some reason I want to say it's Chandra, but I could be wrong. But her hair was like a copper color tied up in a high ponytail, and she's got like the lavender color scheme going on with the floral pants. I think her and this doll might be a similar skin tone, or like really close to each other, possibly. Hi, Florida Fox. Whoa, I'm missing a lot of comments here. Hold on, let me go back, y'all. Okay. I'm about to steal that Ken yellow and orange shirt. I love Halloween. Oh, that would be a good shirt for Halloween stuff, yeah. Who of the girls will be the tall? I love the muscle Ken. Saludos from Mexico. Hello. Alyssa said the blonde's outfit is great. The rest look like 90s called to let them know they can keep that look. That's also something I was thinking too. Are they trying to go with like a 90s flair here? Because like the bell bottoms, and look how short his shorts are. Bruh, where's you going? Like, what's going on with his shorts? I don't know. But that's, to me, it's a very 90s vibe too. So like, maybe that's what they're doing, trying to be kind of nostalgic, because a lot of us that are still at an age where we care about fashion and we collect dolls, we grew up in that era. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they're trying to like appeal to our nostalgia, maybe, because there's a lot of like rewind dolls and stuff like that going on right now, where they're trying to bring back the late 80s and 90s feel for the Barbie doll. So it could be possible that they're trying to do like a retro look, and that's why these dolls are dressed like this. But I mean, to be totally honest, you guys, I'm not a fan of these clothes. I'm not a fan of this style. Nothing about the way they look here makes me want to take them out of the box and just display them as is. Honestly speaking, it's not my stilo whatsoever, and it's just way too crazy looking, too many colors. Like, I feel like I'm looking at like the next, like, I don't know. I feel like, okay, this, I know it's gonna sound ridiculous. When I look at these dolls, the first thing I thought was, if a circus had a dance group that performed in between acts, this is who would come out on the stage. Like, that's what I thought when I looked at these dolls the first time. I was like, is this for real? Like, it's got to be a joke. You got to be kidding me, right? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how did you go from all this sophistication and club looks to these bright colors? Like, I don't understand that. Like, to me, I don't know. This same exact style of clothes, but if they had just made the colors more monochromatic, I feel like I wouldn't have looked at it that way, but it's really all the bright colors just throws me off and makes me instantly think of fashionistas and budget dolls that little kids want, you know? So I'm not a fan of the clothes in the least bit, but I'm very happy to see that the faces are most likely new sculpts, and I can work with that. I'm always gonna be able to work with some new head sculpts that look good, right? All right, let me see. Project Fashion said this wave reminds me of a kiddish version of the Barbies that Carlisle did for an auction in 2015. Wish those would have been mass. Ooh, amen. I did a doll event on those dolls actually. The Madrid convention dolls. She definitely reminds me of one of the dolls from that line, and I loved those dolls. I love the way that those dolls looked, but they did look a lot more posh and like sophisticated compared to this. So this does look sort of like a playline version of that, but I mean a lot of notches below that. The fashion itself, it could have been better, you know. Um let's see. D said, I wish they did a transitional color before doing color block. For example, a gold wave, ugh, amen. Then go into the color block. Metallic to color block is a stark jump, in my opinion. Yeah, and a lot of people who are purchasing these dolls, they still haven't completed first and second waves of the Barbie looks doll. So as they're adding them to their collection, you know, a lot of people want to put them together. They want to put them side by side. Right now, I have a display where I have all 12 of the dolls still in box, displayed in the order of their numbers, and they're all next to each other. It looks so seamless, you guys. All 12 of them, both waves, look very seamless when they're displayed together. And this is not going to be, it's not going to blend like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see, who else had something smart to say? I think I only want the two on either end, this one and this one. Personally, that big red hair is gorgeous. I'm a sucker for a Ken with facial hair. Yeah, I think the Kens, I am gonna end up getting all of them. I'm not gonna lie. All of them I'm gonna end up getting because just the fact that their face sculpts are different than what we normally see is already like a driving force for me to add them to my collection, because that's really what I'm collecting, faces. I'm not necessarily collecting dolls, you guys. I'm a face person. Like, my fetish is with faces. Even with human beings, I love looking at people's faces and how different we are and how alike we are at the same time, you know? So that's always my concern. What does the face look like? But even something like this, where she had the big open tooth smile that I wasn't feeling, I don't have this sculpt already, but once I closed the mouth, I was like, okay, 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 okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. I could work with you. You feel me? So I'm looking at the face, and based on the faces, absolutely, I need all of them, because the clothes, if I get hung up on the clothes, I'm just wasting my own time. I can strip all the clothes off, totally redress them. I have so many extra Barbie looks bodies that I can just take the clothes off of if I want to put them into, like, similar clothes to the other dolls that I have, that I can just mix match the extra clothes that I have and kind of like make them look like the first two waves anyway. So I'm not concerned about the clothes as much as I am about the faces. If the faces were not on point, this would be a huge no-no for me. Sophia said, reminds me of a Benetton clothing ad from the 80s. Word. Okay, said, I think she's lighter than them. This one, right? You think she's lighter than the twins? I think she probably is too. But in this picture, because it's so horrible, the picture itself is very like hard to see the details, so you can't really use this as a good reference for what the skin tone might look like. And I'm wondering about this guy too, because I can tell that he's tan, but is he tan like, who's the one that we have that's tan like this? There's a wheelchair Ken Fashionistas doll that has this kind of tan body, and also the last wave of this line, Barbie looks, the Ken with the long hair, the Native American looking guy, he also has a tan body. So that's, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little bit concerned about not making use of as much variance in the skin tones for the boys. I want to see some new skin tones because we don't have a lot of Made to Move body to go around for the males anyway. Like, switch it up, bruh. So I pray that when these are seen in person, that we'll see that the skin tones are not tones we've already seen a bunch of times for Made to Move bodies on these Kens. I don't know. I just feel like we don't have enough variety in them right now to be reusing the same skin tones, you know? Let's see. Blake Gildafish, hi. Your kid's artwork is friggin' awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ginu is an aspiring artiste. I don't know how to look at the rest of his picture gallery stuff, but this whole thing is all his art. Everything he does himself, it's all by hand, and he just uses this little stylus to get it in. And some of the stuff is actually portraits that he does of his own friends in real life, but he'll like cartoonize them, or he'll turn them into different kinds of, like, this is a self-portrait. There's a lot of self-portraits. This is one he did for a friend for a birthday. He turned him into a superhero because he was turning like 5 or something, and his favorite superhero is Superman, I think. So he turned him into a little superhero character. There's a lot of Asian inspired artwork like this, Togebi. These are Korean, I guess, trolls or something, and his own little version of that. That's something I asked him to do so I could put it on a t-shirt for myself. It's Betty Boop. On this screen, you can't see that her skin tone is actually very brown, but I don't know why it's showing up like it's all like white, but she's got brown skin and purple outfit on, and little afro poof pigtails, and I actually have a shirt that I put that on that I wear. That's one of his friends. So I didn't realize he had so much artwork in here, but it's a lot of stuff in here. And if you're interested in wearing some of his stuff, we do have a merch shop on our channel that you can go to, and you can order your own, and you know, we add stuff to the shop here and there. So yeah, that's all Genu. I did not teach him how to draw. I don't know how he knows how to do this stuff. Let's see. I think she might be between Elle and Simone. The skin tone for this one, right? I could see if, yeah, I could see that could be because she's darker than Elle, but I think she's a little lighter than the Simone. Let's see. Is she close to the wheelchair Barbie in Rainbow? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking me. Wheelchair Barbie in Rainbow. Oh. You're talking about the Rainbow Fashionistas doll. I mean the one with the rainbow striped dress with the skipper face sculpt. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a good question, because that doll is actually a different skin tone from the Simone doll, and also from that real dark coloring that I was telling you guys about earlier. She's a different skin tone from them, so maybe that's possible too. She could be that skin tone. It has like a little red undertone in it, but it's real dark brown. I'm very curious now. I'm really curious to see what her skin tone's gonna look like. Also, from what I can see, I think she's got like afro texture hair. Could be wrong. Could just be really tight curls, but I don't think so. I think that's afro hair. And her hair actually reminds me a lot of my other twins, Reagan and Sierra, who are Fashionistas dolls. And I think, what were they called? Glam Dress or Party Glam? Something like that. Something with the word glam in it was like part of the name of those dolls. And I happen to have those dolls that I use as characters for my show when I was doing the show. So those characters in my collection, they're supposed to be like a really high yellow, like half black, half white characters who are each having their own identity crisis, a racial identity crisis, and their natural hair texture is like this. It's like big curls that also look like an afro at the same time. So I wonder if this is the same kind of hair texture, because that would be kind of interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting if it was. I love that hair texture. Let's see. Is the third girl a petite, do we think? Those are some high heels, and she's still shorter than the two next to her. Yeah, I do think this one is a petite body. You can kind of tell from the shape of the body. The petite dolls have like their own different kind of a shape, and their hands are a little bit different. It's not so like flat, like the Made to Move dolls have like this flat thing going on, like their hands are like this. But the petite dolls, as you can see here, actually, it's not quite as a flat. Like their fingers look a little bit different to me. The sculpt of the fingers are different. Let's see if we can compare these two. Can you show me your hands? Thank you very much. Yeah, see how they look different? These three are together and these two are together. And when you look at the pictures, you can see that her index finger is separated from the group. Whereas these dolls, their index fingers are fused with the rest of their fingers here in the middle. So if you're just looking at those details, even if you can't quite see everything about the bodies, you can kind of tell that it's a petite body. They look a little different in the body sculpt itself. Let's see. Florida Fox said that the redhead is reminding them of Integrity Toys dolls. And I can see that too, especially in the way that he like drew the sketch of the face. Let's see, how about without it? And it looks like she might be smiling actually when I'm looking at the picture. Look how blurry it is, you guys. Gee whiz, Liz. Yeah. But the way he drew her, she doesn't quite look like she's smiling. So this version does remind me of Integrity, because Integrity Toys dolls usually look quite serious. Let's see. I'm fine with color, but the fact that they just slapped big color blocks together seemingly at random is my problem with these fashions. It just looks lazy to me, you guys. It looks like they just were like, yeah, whatever. They're gonna buy them for body donors anyway. And I'll be talking to you guys on Instagram sometimes. Some of you guys like to DM me, and we kind of have our own little side chats about these things before I go live. And one of my viewers was telling me that he felt like they were kind of just rushing it, and kind of like they weren't putting as much quality and time into the way that they were styling the dolls in this line, because he thinks it's because they already know that we're going to use them as body donors. So it's kind of like, well, why put all this work into the clothes if they're just going to strip them all off and switch them, the heads, and do all of this Frankensteining? Like, what's the point? So his hypothesis was that that's why this looks the way that it looks, because you know what I'm saying? It made sense the way that he was presenting it, and it's an interesting theory. Dee said, I also wish the colors could have been more cohesive or more pastel. Pastel would have fit more into the last two waves. I do agree with you on that. It's too bright. It's too strong. It's too many primary colors, but then also like purple and pink is in there. That's why I'm like confused. I don't really know what is going on. Like, and what color is her pants supposed to be? Is this denim? What is this? Is it light purple? Like, what is that? You know, that's why I said I don't think that this is a rainbow thing, because when was sky blue in the rainbow? Like, that's not how the rainbow looks. So I don't know. Like, I don't think so. Let's see. Blake said Ginu is mad talented. I really appreciate you saying that. Erica's Dollhouse. The clothes remind me of the brand Cross Colors. Up, yep, that's another 80s, 90s fashion, right? Gypsy, you are the first person to pronounce my name correctly. You are the greatest. Thank you. Really? It says Sophia. Very, very, I don't know. That's what it says to me. That's what I think. Okay. D, I hope this wave does not detract hype for future waves. So many possibilities, like animal print, gold, ooh, animal print. Ooh, many love this line, and one sort of wonky wave hopefully doesn't stop the line. I hope not either. And again, that's why I'm like, I know I'm going to end up getting all of them as long as they're available for me to get, because you can't take for granted these sculpts. That's for one. And it's so many new sculpts they throwing at us back to back. So by the time we actually see them repeated in something else, I mean, you have so many other face sculpts to choose from in this line that it's not going to feel like redundant when you see another one of those sculpts on a different doll in a different line, right? Every time they release pictures about a new doll, I swear, I be telling myself like, like before I see the picture, I'd be so nervous that I'm gonna see a repeat of a face sculpt. That's the main reason why I had him do the sketch, because I was nervous. I was like, wait a minute, oh, I can't tell whose face sculpts are these. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I don't think she's a Carl, she does look very similar though, very very similar to a Carl sculpt. The shape of her head, like the upside down triangle thing. But the reason I think it's not is because when I look at this outline of her face, the nose, if what he's seeing here is correct, if it's even similar to this, the nose is not the right shape for it to be a Carl. The nose reminds me a lot more of like a mermaid sculpt or a Louboutin sculpt. It's the same sculpt, but they have two different names. So to me, and I know this is not the actual mermaid sculpt, I can tell from the way that it looks, it's not that sculpt, but the nose does not fit with what I think a Carl sculpt would be looking like. So I do think it's a brand new sculpt. Let's see who else. Justin Artistry Adult Doll Collector said the new Barbie looks Ken with a yellow and orange shirt. Looks like he has a Superman body. A lot of people are speculating that he may, but I don't think he does, because I don't think that his arms look that much bigger than his. I think they're just spread out, so it's giving the illusion that they're bigger, but I don't think that they are. But at the same time, you never know, because look at this. Am I seeing things? Doesn't it look like the hand sculpt is different? These hands look more curved in, and these look more open. Am I bugging y'all? Am I seeing things? Is it the angle? What do you guys think? I don't think they're the same hand sculpts. So if the sculpts are different, it's possible that the whole body is a different sculpt. You know what I'm saying? It could be. It's just hard to tell with these blurry ass pictures. When are we gonna get some clear pictures, Mattel? Sheesh. So, I don't know. If you look at the writing here, it says do not distribute, and then it says spring 2023. So, I think that that's supposed to be the tentative release time frame, spring of 2023. So these will probably officially be considered the 2023 wave. And I know there's a confusion about whether these are wave 3 or 4, but that's because wave 2 was broken up into 2 separate releases. I don't know why. They just wanted to do it like that, I guess. I pray that they don't do that with this one. Don't be bringing us 3 now and then 3 7 months later. We want all of them at the same damn time, Mattel. So we'll see. But based on that, I mean, and also if you zoom in, look, see the legs? The legs look a little bit different too, in that you can't really tell because his shorts are kind of flared out here. But if you really like look at it, doesn't it look like if you could draw, let me see, maybe I can. If you could draw the outline of where the legs would be, where the thighs would be, look, don't it look kind of like wide compared to his little scrawny legs? These are some tight ass pants he got on, so you don't even have to imagine what they probably look like inside the pants. I mean, is it just me, you guys? Maybe I'm wrong, but to me it looks like the width of the legs are a little bit different, and everybody who has a Superman body doll knows that this part of his body is very wide, right? And the Superman doll comes with closed fists, so it's hard to tell what kind of hands he would have if they were open, but these hands being a different sculpt than these hands would make me think that it's possible that this is a different body sculpt altogether. It's very possible. And that would be exciting if it was. That would be really exciting, but so hard to dress. You know what I'm hoping, though? I'm hoping that this guy, he may not be the actual Superman body type, but if he was the equivalent of a broad Ken with joints, that would be fine with me. Because they're kind of hard to dress. They don't have a whole lot of stretchy clothes for Ken dolls, and so it's a little bit of a challenge trying to figure out clothes to put them in. So I don't want him to be so bulky like Superman that I can't really dress him the way that I want to. Especially with pants, they're so hard to find. So maybe it's a little bit of both, you know, because like the broad Kens, if you could put them into a made to move style body, they would be a little bit different than what we're used to seeing when we see the fashionistas with those broad bodies and no joints. And then with the actual Superman body, he's so bulky that I don't know how they would Yeah, like he look like he needs to be he lives in the gym. So like how does he fit in with the rest of these model types? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just speculating. It's a theories, right? But based on that, isn't it possible that it could be that it's a different body type? I'm not saying it is Superman's body type. I'm saying it's different than this guy if you really like study these things, you know? But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it's the same body sculpt and just gave him different hands. That's also possible, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Who else? I sure hope he has a Superman body. We need some variety in our Kens. Bring on the slims and the broads next. Yeah, I agree with you. Um, I'm pretty sure the one with the Afro updo might have the same skin tone as the Made to Move gray and lavender top yoga doll from the 2019. Yeah, that's what we were trying to figure out. And I was speculating that she does have one of those skin tones. Here you can't see a red undertone, so I don't know. But then again, look, when I really like zoom in, you guys, I don't know if you can see this, but see like around here and here, it's like a red tone there. What is that? I don't know. It's hard to tell. These photos are garbage. It is so hard to tell. I don't know. But I will say this. It would be interesting if she turned out to be the same skin tone as the fashionistas in the wheelchair doll. That would be interesting if she did. Watching from the UK. Hi, Janine. Is it Bowen? Florida Fox. Can you please look up Molly Burke? I would love them to make a doll of her. Can you help me make her? Like, find what doll to use. I want to make her Made to Move. I don't know who Molly Burke is, but we'll have to look that up. Remind me again in the comment section later, too. Erica's Dollhouse. I feel they should add a section to the Mattel website where we can buy bodies. It's all about the money for the big wigs anyway. They would clean up. Yeah, and we've been talking about this for ages, y'all. Like, ever since Made to Move dolls came out, we all know they can produce a Made to Move doll with a head and some clothes for $15, and it's worth it. Oh, speaking of prices, I looked on Mattel Creations website, which is Mattel's official website where they sell all the signature dolls, and these are considered Barbie signature dolls. I noticed that the Made to Move dolls from their series was they were listed at $22 retail, not 20 even like they used to be when we first got these dolls. So be prepared for a price change when these other dolls come out. It's possible they're going to start at $22. They're probably not going to go under that since they already raised the prices of last wave. Or it could be more than $22. It could end up being $25 or $30. So prepare yourselves ahead of time for the possibility that they may end up costing a little bit more than what we're used to paying for them. But 20 is a reasonable price point, I think, for what we're getting. And I feel like if Mattel plays their cards right, like they could totally do a line of just body donors and kill it. Like they don't have to waste their time coming up with face sculpts and rooting in hair and giving us clothes, like just the bodies. Bruh, they need to stop playing themselves and get with the times. Do it, Mattel. Just give us some body donors already. Like, what are y'all waiting for? Get with the new wave, okay? Thank you, Honest Adonis, for tipping me $3. I didn't even know you could do that on here. But thanks. I didn't know you was watching, but thanks. Let's see. Adonis in another part of the house. He was doing his own live earlier, and I was helping him out with that one. But then I was like, time's a ticking. We got to get the show on the road and talk about these dang dolls. So, yeah, so I had to stop with that and come over here and do this with you guys. But shout out, Honest Adonis. All right, let's see. Alyssa, not just a body section. Remember that old custom doll maker from 90s? They need to bring that back. Pick your skin color, the face sculpt, the hair. Ooh, girl. Ooh, they need to hire some of us to be part of their marketing. For reals, because we would kill it, you guys. Erica's Dollhouse. For some reason, I think she's the closed mouth Bambi sculpt. I might be tripping. This one, I think Adonis said the same thing. He was like, she looks like she has the closed mouth. Yo, he literally said that. He did say that to me the other day because we were trying to zoom in and figure out who the hell's face this is. And he was like, she looked just like Bambi, but with her mouth closed. And if it is, that's some boosh, because he's like, why they want to close her mouth now? But I don't think that it is, because she, to me, looks a lot prettier than Bambi. Nah, I don't think that it is. I feel like this doll's you're gonna see she ends up having her own different face, but like, I think, but she's similar looking, and I feel like some of these sculpts to me look like a cross between multiple sculpts that already exist, and they just took features from like 2 or 3 different faces and put them together to create new faces. And of course, you guys, the sculptors, they do all of this digitally, so it's not like they have to really sculpt by hand like a piece of clay. Like, it's not all like that. They do 3D sculpting to make these face molds a lot of times. So it's not far-fetched to think that they would take, you know, the eyes from one doll, the nose from another doll, the chin from another doll, and just kind of Frankenstein the pieces together to create new faces. You can do the same thing when you play like Sims 3, Sims 4. That's how the interface is set up when you are picking your characters and trying to like create unique characters. You have to make all of your characters when you play those games. And it's a video game, and everything is there. Like, it's like tools inside of the game that allow you to put different body parts together almost to make the characters exactly the way you want them to look, you know? So I feel like they probably have something similar like that they use to create these sculpts, and that's why they remind you of other dolls you've seen before. They have features that are similar to other dolls that we've seen before, but I don't think that this is going to end up being just a closed mouth version of that sculpt. I just don't think it's going to end up being that way. Let's see. Erica says it is the Superman's body because she can tell from looking at the legs. And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because, oh, shoot. Because, like, look at the sculpt of the hands. They're so different. Very different. Let's see. I like the guy in orange top and the guy with the purple shirt. Hi, Lauren. I was just talking to you before I started my life. And this guy, I wonder if does he actually have facial hair? Let me see. Because in this version, he didn't really make the facial hair prominent. Yeah, when you look at the face here, I don't necessarily see what could be interpreted as facial hair. Dang, you blurry, bruh. You blurry. I see them eyebrows, though. Goodness. Them eyebrows is there. I could tell he's got rooted hair. This guy, his hair is very low, so I'm not really sure. It could be flocked. Let me see. Let's take this off for a second. Yeah, this is probably flocked hair. It looks very short. So it probably is. Dang, them eyebrows, bruh. And you know what? I don't think he has facial hair. I think Genu saw facial hair here because, look. See down here? There's like a little blur. That's part of the wording. Distributes, right? There's an R right there. And that R is what probably made him think that it might have facial hair. So I think the other version that he drew is probably more accurate. Let me see. Yeah, see? That's the R. That's part of the lettering that's making it look like he's got facial hair. Oh, okay. I see you. I feel you. Yeah, so he probably doesn't have facial hair, guys. But this one, I don't know. Maybe he do. It's hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. Let's see. The hands are the same as the Merman Ken. Really? Really? So does the Merman Ken have the Superman body type? Because if he does, and they do tend to use the same hand sculpts for different kinds of body sculpts, then maybe he does have a Superman body. That would make sense. So all signs are pointing to the fact that he probably does have a Superman body, you guys. Wow, okay, so we discovered something together. I hope these predictions turn out to be right, y'all, because we're gonna feel stupid later when he comes out. He's got a slim body. We're gonna be like, what? Wait, what? Wait a minute. He really duped us. Let's see. I feel like that's gonna cost a fortune, but that'd be nice. Okay, you guys are answering each other. Please tell me they are not doing huge weird eyeshadow again. I don't see a lot of colors on the girls' faces, so I don't think that it's gonna be too crazy looking. This one specifically she might just be the only one where they gave her more stuff on her eyes, but maybe not, because see how blurry it is? Like, we really don't even know. We can't tell. So Ginu's just guessing, really. She's just guessing based on what he has to work with. And they already have so many colors going on with their clothes that they don't really need all the bright colors on their faces too. You know, I don't think so. But it's possible that she doesn't. Let's see. Let me see if I can erase this and see if it changes anything. Do you think Ginu's gonna be upset when he sees me messing around with it? I'm like, Mom, you don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I like her better with the eye stuff. She looks so plain and bored here. But that's possibly what she might look like. Let's see. Glasses. She's wearing eyeglasses. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, so Adonis said he thinks she's wearing eyeglasses. Let me see. Oh, you think she's wearing glasses? Oh, I didn't think about that. But hold on, let me look at the other one. You gotta look at them both to get a good idea, a good perspective. Gotta smush them together. Jeez, it's so hard to tell. So hard to tell. Wow, they did a good job of making it really hard to tell. What kind of glasses? Oh, darn it. This pen is too big. Sorry, Ginu. Y'all better stop laughing at me right now. Why did I do that? I don't even know how to undo it. Ah, shizzle. What's this thing do? Let me stop pressing stuff before I mess this whole thing up. Teachers. Okay. But I like that theory. She could actually have glasses on. That would make sense why this whole thing here looks kind of weird. Ah. That would make sense. Danish, you smart. You smart. What if he's right, y'all? What if he's right? Oh my goodness. Let's see. I, for one, would be willing to pay extra for the specific dolls that I want. It was pricey back in the day, too, as I recall. Sean Diaz said, I'm just waiting for the Ken doll with a muscular body. M. Ramirez said, with vitiligo. Are you referring to her? No, you said vitiligo. That's a different one. Let's see. Janine, have you heard of Cindy doll? Is Cindy... Yeah, I've heard of Cindy. I'm trying to remember what she looks like. I want to say she's like a kind of like Barbie, but in Europe. D said, hoping for more disability representation in future waves for the looks line. And OK said, I hope they make a MTM Ken with a less athletic body type. That would be the slim body if we ever get one. If they go up to $30, I'm calling it quits. You know, seriously though, if they are gonna go up to 30, they gotta start that with wave 4, okay? Because wave 3, no. Like, no. Y'all want to surprise us with the circus colors and then try to charge $30? I don't think so. You're pushing it. Let's see. I see some people agreeing with that. S.I.S said, if Mattel would take away from their playline budget and properly fund their collector budget, then they would kill the game, and you are definitely right about that. $25 for them is too much for me. Oh, man. Okay, so Lauren said the girl with the brown hair looks like Ariana Grande. I also was thinking the exact same thing. Totally was thinking the same thing, that her face sculpt, from what I could see, really reminds me a lot of Ariana Grande. And then, of course, the hairstyle doesn't help because that kind of adds to it. But speaking of hair, hold on a second. Let me get rid of this for a second. I'm so excited to see what kind of hair textures they have, because I like that each one, it's very different. They didn't just put, like, first of all, I'm over the pixie, like the short haircut with, you know, with the sides being like flocked, like all this down here shaved, they flock it, and then they give you like a little bit of hair on the top. If I see another doll like that in this line, ugh, like that look just gets on my nerves because I don't have nothing to work with. It's not that I don't like the hairstyle, I'm just a very hands-on type of collector, and I want to style my dolls. I want to change the way they look. So if I don't have no hair to work with, how am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to do that? It's just very limiting for what I can do with the hair. So I'm glad that all of them seem like they have a full head of hair. And I'm talking about the girls here. And you can style the hair. This one, I really think she's got like an afro puff going on. But when you let the afro down, it's probably going to have a little bit of length to it. And sometimes I'll end up straightening the doll's hair that have afro hair, and it'll be longer because when you straighten it, the hair stretches. So I'm curious to see how it turns out looking. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to see something different though, because I just so many dolls now with afros, and I feel like that's the go-to hairstyle when they making black characters and they can't really come up with like a decent new hairstyle to do. They'll give them just a generic afro puff and then keep it moving, and to me it's kind of lazy. So like, I don't know. I don't know if I need another doll with afro hair. And it's also hard to work with sometimes when you're trying to style their hair if it's too dense, you know. But then if it's not dense enough, then it's all straggly looking. Like, I don't know. It's you gotta have a nice balance when it comes to the afro texture hair with some of these dolls. So that's why I'm so glad that they didn't do that with this doll, and they gave her this sleek, like totally different hair texture than what you would expect, especially for a skin tone that's this dark. You would think they would have just slapped a big afro puff on them, and they would probably look dope with some afros. But I like that they gave them actual like long hair so you can do something with it, because this hair, I don't know that you could turn this into afro texture, but you absolutely can curl it. And I saw somebody on, I want to say on Instagram, who had posted a picture of theirs with some loose curls in it, and it looks so sexy, so pretty. And I was like, "Oh, yes, honey." And this is so sleek. Like the feeling is so silky and smooth and just very tangle-free kind of hair. Very easy to manage, very easy to handle. I've tied their hair up, braided their hair up. I've done different things with their hair textures, and it reverted back to the original hair texture even after I had done those things. So I love texture like this. It's, you just, I don't know. You can't go wrong with this kind of texture hair on the dolls, because it's very low maintenance, which is what I love about it. And with the ones that they're producing in this line, I love the variety in all of the hair textures, so that's a plus. To be honest, you guys, I don't really see too many things about this line that are alarming, other than the crazy colors. Like, we don't need all these crazy colors. That was my biggest concern for these dolls, was the colors, and making sure that the face sculpts were new sculpts and they weren't just getting lazy and reusing old ones. And then the boys, I mean, I think they're pretty decent looking sculpts from what I can see so far. I think I like his face better than this one, but of course I can't say for sure because we don't know what they really look like. Let's see. The merman does have the Superman body. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with that. Let's just say he is a Superman body type. I like that. Let's see. $22 is pushing it when the same body for Playline dolls go for sale for $10 to $15. Okay, I feel you. Honest Adonis said that the glasses, he thinks that they might be cat eye glasses. And I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be true, because that's probably why Genu drew that like outline on the eyes, because none of the other girls seem like they have on makeup. So it wouldn't have made sense that only one of the girls has makeup on her on an eyeshadow and then the other ones don't. Yeah. Clear frame 60s style eyeglasses, like a Catwoman style glasses, is what Adonis is predicting. So this is an interesting prediction. As the universe turns, I said I want them. Sean Diaz said, "Thanks, girl, for mentioning my ethnicity in your other Barbie Looks live stream. I'm Cambodian like the brown girl." Oh, word. Okay. What did I do? What did I do? What am I doing, y'all? What's going on? I'm touching my screen and I'm making a mess. Okay. I didn't mean to zoom in like that. All right, let's see. I love me some Cambodians. Oh, Pamsy's Cambodian too. Oh, we got a whole Cambodian family reunion going on up in here. Let's see. I wish they could make a doll with their hair in locks. You know what? Have we seen that yet? Have we seen that? I don't know if we've seen that yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing that at some point. You know, that would be interesting. See, like, instead of an afro, yeah, dreadlocks, that would be so freaking cool. On, oh, that would be so cool. I don't think I've seen a Barbie like that. The best new Barbie looks is, for me, the black doll. This one, okay? And you know, goodness, I'm just noticing, too, that I don't see any female dolls that look like they might have like an Asian type of sculpt. I wonder if one of the boys are, because I did hear people complaining that we don't have enough males with Asian features and they want more. So I wonder if either one of these guys may have those kinds of features. I just wonder. Here in this blurriness, this guy to me looks like he could be Caucasian, but because it's so dang blurry, who's to know for sure, right? All we can do is guess and speculate. Oh, shoot. Look at how tiny she looks. They cute. They cute. Ugh, why they gotta be so cute? Yeah, but I'm excited for this line. I'm excited to see what clearer photos of them may end up looking like. The fourth doll, curvy doll, to me looks Southeast Asian. Hopefully she is, fingers crossed. So you're talking about this one right here. And I think I'm going to end up liking her the best. I think I'm going to end up liking her face the best. I love that they gave her a blonde curly hair with a curvy body type. What? That's like Adonis's dream girl. When you see like a juicy like white girl, where did you come from, right? So she to me looks kind of like that, but I don't know. It's hard to tell with the face though, because she's blonde. Like, it's hard to tell if her facial features will look anything close to ethnic, but it's possible because it has been done before. Did you see the Jane Goodall Barbie? I did, and she has the Tori sculpt, and Tori sculpt is really cute, which I like. The only Tori that I have, I closed her mouth, and I like her better with her mouth closed, and I don't think I plan to add any other Tories to my collection, but I also haven't really come across any that really jumped out at me. The only thing I didn't really like about that doll though is her hair. Like, I think her hair just looks boring, but you know, I be taking all my dolls out of their original state anyway, so if I did get it, it wouldn't be in the same condition that she originally comes in. So I don't know, but anyway, so this was really fun. I just wanted to share these sketches with you guys so we could have a better like idea of what they could be looking like other than the blurriness that we have to work with right now. And after I saw the sketched version of them, that's when I was like, I really fell in love with them, because I was like, okay, they might have potential. They might not be whack, you know, because it was so just disconcerting. When I saw this, I was just like, what is this? What the hell is this? This cannot be the Barbie Looks dolls. What happened? Like, I just didn't understand what I was looking at. It was shocking. I just didn't understand. And then being able to zoom in closer to the pictures and having that little interpretation of what they may look like, that has made it a little easier for me to swallow. Also, I'm gonna say with this guy, I don't know, but I don't know. It's possible he doesn't even have as much facial hair as what Ginu was guessing that he might have. He might have less because, like I said, there's writing covering the faces. So it's hard to distinguish what is part of the writing and what's part of the face up. But I do see some, like, right here along the edges of the face, it's darker. And there's, like, a little line here of darkness. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think it has this much, like as much as what Ginu drew. I think it's probably less hair than that. And these sculpts are so beautiful that, I mean, yo, if you're into repainting, you got a lot to work with here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a plus to me. I think it will be a good addition to your collection if you don't already have these kinds of dolls. And of course, I always tell people, even if you don't like the doll, it's okay. If you, especially if the prices are like reasonable, It's okay to get the dolls just as body donors. You don't have to get them because you just want to display that particular head. If you hate it, it's fine. But if you know later on down the line you might be running into some stiff body dolls, like them holiday Barbies, and you want to bring them to life in your collection, you're going to need body donors. And then when you go looking for them, the prices might have gone up. You may not be able to find the color that you need for the skin tone match. They may not be available in your region when you need them. So if you can stock up on them when they're still a decent price, it's not a bad idea to do that, especially with the boys, especially with the darker skin tones, especially with the different body types. If you can get extras and stash them, there's no wrong there. Like, there, you can't go wrong when you stash those bodies, because you're gonna end up using them down the line if you're a serious collector like us. D said, thank you for the great live. You're so responsive to comments and look at the leaked pictures objectively. Again, I personally, like many others, I'm so excited for this line despite the minor issues I have with the clothing. Can't wait to get them and hopefully many more waves. And I appreciate you saying that, and I agree with what you're saying. And I think they will probably just, you know, you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to seeing you guys restyling these dolls and then posting your pictures and your videos of them on your platforms, because I think that when you see the other collectors kind of giving them their own style and interpretation, it really like brings some of these dolls to life for you. And sometimes Mattel does a crap job of packaging the doll right. You know what I'm saying? In a way that it's going to appeal to grown-ups. But when you do your own thing with the doll and then other people can see what you've done, and it's a little more like an inspiration for them, as far as what they could possibly do with their dolls, it makes it a little less, I guess, unappealing. That same doll that you might have been looking kind of sideways at, you know, you see the potential there. And I feel kind of like I did that with her, because when you just see the Brooklyn doll as is, the way that she came, to me, it just was not my cup of tea. But I wanted to do something with that head sculpt. So I told myself, like, maybe if I close the mouth, I'll like her better. And I do. And then I said, well, maybe if she had joints, I'll like her better. And I do. And when I said, maybe if I dress her like she got some damn sense, then I'll like her better. And I do. So if I was just going off of, you know, the way that she came originally, I would have never have added the doll to my collection. But I'm glad that I took a chance on the doll, because when I put my own touch on it, then she was fine. Hi, Tevin. I'm up, and today is my birthday. I'm finally 30. Well, happy birthday and welcome to the 30s. Welcome to your 30s. Listen, Tevin, I'm going to tell you a secret, okay? I'm going to tell you no secret, okay? When you are in your 30s, you're like old and young at the same time. The 30s, I feel like, is like the magic decade where you can still not quite know what the hell you're doing as an adult. You're still figuring things out, and other adults will give you a pass. But at the same time, it's your time to like explore and like come into yourself as an adult, learn as much as you can, and become as independent as you can, and build relationships with other adults that will help you along the way. But don't take that time for granted. Don't waste your 30s. Don't waste this decade, because you're gonna wish that you were paying attention and taking good advice from other older adults who know what they're doing. When you hit them 40s, especially as a male, they don't be giving you no passes. If you don't know what you're doing, by the time you 40, people don't like to give each other passes. And your life becomes a lot more difficult because you're still trying to play catch up, you know? So enjoy your 30s, have your fun, you know, do all the things that you want to do, get into your hobbies, develop yourself, do all of that stuff, and at the same time learn as much as you can from other adults that are doing the things that you are aspiring to do at some point. Don't just brush them off and be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Listen to those people. They're trying to save you heartache and a waste of time, all right? But yeah, that's what's up. That's exciting. Happy birthday. What did you get for your birthday? I bought several of the brown soccer player for $7. Both blonde and AA wheelchair for $13. Blonde yoga Millie for $10. Where are you? Bruh. He just going in over there. Just going in. That's what's up. Are you getting body donors? You stocking up with some body donors? Because that's a good idea. Have you heard of Lika Chan? I am saving up for an art book, but I found Lika Chan dolls in fashion, so I'm still deciding. And Sophia said that Brooklyn head sculpt on this year's holiday Barbie is atrocious. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Y'all, seriously? I feel like the holiday dolls, like, bruh, you charging $40, $45 for these things with no joints, and they're just really just decorative pieces, really. That's a function of those dolls. I understand that they like to get all intricate and cool with the dresses, but yeah, y'all gonna have to stop using these playline faces for them damn dolls. Some of my like most prettiest dolls that I have in my collection came from previous holiday doll waves, and they're not face sculpts that just be popping up left and right on these playline dolls like that. Like I have a mermaid sculpt that used to be a holiday Barbie. I have I think I want to say a shiny doll that had previously been a holiday Barbie, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And these are not sculpts that we just be seeing all the time. So if they're gonna, if you're gonna do the holiday Barbie thing every year, I mean, bruh, y'all got so many face sculpts to choose from. Why you keep picking these just straight up playline faces? Like, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand it. But I ain't getting none of them. I ain't getting none of the holiday Barbies for this year, except for the Odile sculpt with the red hair. Whenever I happen to come across her, I'm stalking Walmart's page. They just finally added the other 4 dolls from that line on Walmart recently. But the Odile sculpt is supposed to be Odile, Odile. That's the name I'm saying. I know I'm saying it so fast. Odile sculpt with the red hair. She's supposed to be an exclusive for Walmart only. And I highly doubt that we're going to see her on a shelf inside the stores. Although I hope that we do, because that would be so convenient. But for now, I'm just stalking their website. I kind of have a feeling that because the release date for those dolls is supposed to be summer, and it is summer now, and those dolls are released except for that one, I really wouldn't be surprised if they don't release the Odile sculpt until you get like the by the skin of your teeth close to Christmas. I really wouldn't be surprised. Because if they release that one now, none of the other ones will sell. Nobody's gonna buy the other ones because everyone's gonna want the Odile sculpt, you know. So they gotta give you some time to waste your money on those playline head sculpts for the first 4, and then later, when you think they forgot about it, they're not gonna release it, they playing with us, then they're gonna give you the other sculpt that's left over. That's just my guess. This is my theory. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, y'all. Don't think when I be talking junk about Mattel, it's because I just know they're going to do it. No, I hope that I be wrong. I want somebody to be like, you was wrong, Gypsy. But that don't end up happening a lot of times. And I'm not just wildly guessing. I be saying the stuff I say based on trends and past behaviors of Mattel. They be making me say this stuff. You know what I mean? So... but Sean, when you talk about the Lika Chan dolls, I do know what you're talking about. I think that those dolls are really cute. I've never actually handled one in person, nor have I seen too many, like, videos of the dolls. I see lots of pictures of them, but I think I need to do more research on those to see, like, videos of them, how they move, what the bodies are like, and more detail about those dolls before I would invest any money into them. Because I'm just not familiar enough with those dolls. But just the way they look, I do like the way that they look. And for me, personally, I don't know how to incorporate those dolls into my collection. Because I don't think I have a whole lot of dolls in my collection that look as playful and, like, childish as those dolls do. To me, the Lika Chan dolls look like preteens. So, and I don't have a collection that reflects a lot of that age group, really. Mostly, like, young adults and like older adults in my collection for the most part. So I don't know, but like if I ever needed to add more of like a teenage look to my collection, then I would probably consider those dolls. I don't dislike them. It's just there's other dolls I would prefer to explore first before them. For example, like Fison, or what do you call those dolls? I want to say they're hot toys, but I don't know for sure if they're hot toys, but it's like that kind of doll where they're like a action figure really, but very realistic. Like the bodies are more realistic and they have lots of joints. They're pricey, and that's part of the reason why I haven't added them, because I don't know that much about what's a decent price to spend on those dolls. And also because I haven't come across a brown or ethnic version of those dolls that are females that I want to try out. So I don't know, but like I'd rather spend my money if I have to spend, an exorbitant amount of money on a doll. I'd rather explore those lines as opposed to lines of dolls that I just don't know how I would blend them into my existing collection right away. Um, let's see. The I'm trying to read these comments, y'all. I'm slow. Tevin said, I have 3 MTM dolls on the way. I just got one in the mail today. Holiday dolls been a joke for a long time. That's why I prefer to get them on sale. Yeah, I wouldn't spend full price on any of them. I like some holiday Barbies from the 90s, and now Disney Store does their own version of holiday dolls. Last year was Rapunzel. Oh, okay, so Lauren DeWitt, you guys, she collects a lot of Disney dolls, and a lot of the Disney, like, what do they call them, like the Princess Classic dolls that are like fashion figure 1/6 scale dolls. She has a lot of those, so she's very well versed on Disney Store dolls. And I didn't know that they were doing holiday dolls at Disney like that. Do you think, is it like a one-time thing, or are they going to be doing it like every year? And also, do the holiday dolls that Mattel is, I mean not Mattel, that Disney Store is doing, do they do like a bunch of different princesses at one time, or are they doing like one doll per year, and then next year a different doll will be a holiday version? I don't know, but I was curious about that. Tevin said, I hope the natural releases match the MTMs that have been out. I hope so too, because I know a lot of people are going to want to take them off of those stiff ass bodies and give them some joints, and that would be a darn shame if they don't have no bodies that will match them, but I hope that they do. Let's see. No, I'm going to say this name so wrong. It says Zadayak Demos. I'm not sure. Please keep this live up. I just got here. I love hearing your thoughts on these. I want to listen on my way to until work this morning. Well, then how long am I supposed to stay on here until you get to work? Tevin said, the AA Holiday Barbie always sells no matter how basic the face sculpt is. I still don't understand why they gave the 2018 the Asha sculpt. I have several Lika-chan dolls I bought in 2016, but now they are most expensive now than they were years ago. What is their hair quality like? That's another concern I be having about like new dolls that I try out. Ugh, I'm such a stickler for hair and textures. If the texture ain't right, like, I just can't get with it, bro. Like, I have dolls that I love their faces, like the Barbie Extra dolls, but I hate their hair, and it's so much hassle to mess with the hair that I just have them stuffed away in the drawer, and I don't have them out on display because I don't want to mess with your hair like that, you know? Ugh, that's just depressing. So you tell me, what is their hair texture like? Is it worth it with the Lika-chan dolls? Like, what's the rooting like? Is it full head of hair? Because when I bought a Korean doll called Mimi, which is like Korea's version of Barbie. That's what I grew up with. And just for nostalgia's sake, I had ordered one off of Amazon just to see, like, okay, what was it so great about these dolls that I loved them when I was a kid, you know? And then when I got it, I was just so disappointed. I was so ashamed to call myself a Korean, y'all. I was like, ugh, my people, we can do better than this. What are we doing? Like, we invented kimchi. We can do better than this. I was so ashamed. I was like, this doll's hair is horrendous. And she had the wonkiest, like, her face, y'all. Well, it looked like it was smushed on one side. Like somebody, like, stepped on it and then got off of it and then just stayed like that on one side of her face. That's how she looked. Like she had, like, straight up, like, had a stroke. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bruh, no. Y'all gotta do better than this. Korea, what is y'all doing? Like, oh my gosh. Oh, Lord, I was so disappointed. But I got a lot of nice clothes out of that purchase, so that part I wasn't upset about. But the doll itself, psh, yeah, I'm good. No wonder when I was a kid, I was just salivating over Barbie dolls. Now when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably why. Because I probably knew Barbies were way better quality. I had a girlfriend who rode the bus with me to school. I'm going to tell you about this girl. Hold on a second. It's a Barbie story. Okay. Licca dolls have the 80s Barbie with rubbery bendable legs and arms. However, their faces are very different from Barbie. Their hair can vary, and I would only thrift them for low price. Not new. One of the heads had, okay, Tevin said one of the heads had that dry Kanekalon hair, and the other had soft saran hair. The doll hair is questionable. Some are good and some are bad quality. Wow, really? That's so crazy. That's 50-50 right there. You're just taking a wild guess. Lauren said the Disney store does one every year. Only one Ariel and Rapunzel, and I don't know who's going to be this year. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I wanted to know about that. Are they just straight up coming out with like a whole line of dolls every year like how Mattel does, or is it just one or two princesses per year? But yeah, that's interesting. And I think that's a good idea. They should do some holiday. They should switch it up at Disney. I would love to see Disney do like a modern version of their princesses where they have the same princess dolls, but they do like a modern day interpretation of them and dress them in modern day clothes and see how that does. I feel like people might like that. Because every year the Disney princess doll is the same dolls over and over and over again. We're in the same stuff from all the movies. We get it. We get it. Merida loves green. We get it. But I mean, dang, like, don't they do anything else except just be walking around in princess dresses all day? I don't know. But I feel like let's do some different looks. You know what I'm saying? Just to modernize, just for fun. Like, can we do that? I don't know. Let's see. The Disney store, I read that. The 90s Mattel had Belle and Jasmine and Cinderella holiday dolls. Tevin said the Fresh dolls make the Proud Family dolls now, licensed by Disney now. They're having new 11.5-inch characters coming out soon, like Dijonay and La Sienna. I don't know who these characters are. I almost bought Penny Proud, and those have wrists. I would have to ask my daughter about that because she watches that show, and I'm not as familiar with those characters, but I do know what you're talking about from the Proud Family show. So that should be interesting to see. I did see some little cute little dolls at Walmart today too. They look like little kids. But I didn't get a good look at them because I was in a rush. I was doing something. So I couldn't get a good look at them. And I also saw a whole freaking display of like 30 boxes of the mini fashions, the little balls, which I have been looking for the longest. And then the ones that I only have the red one. I mean, not red. I have the deep magenta one, the green bag, and one bag that has like a couple different colors in it, like tan, yellow, and white. Only those three. And then, because it's so, like, 50-50 what you're going to end up getting, because I don't want a bunch of duplicates. So I haven't went and bought a bunch more, because my local Walmart didn't have all these boxes to, you know, pick through until just now. So now that I know that they have more to choose from, I'm going to take my risk and see if I can get some other bags than the ones that I have already. They cost $20 at Target. I don't know if other stores will carry them. They do modern Disney princess dolls, but by Hasbro. I don't like Hasbro. I'm sorry. Hasbro got to go. Their hair quality is just garbage. Let's see. What are you talking about? That's $20 at Target, bro. Also, the mini fashions that I saw at Walmart, I don't know if I misread the sign. I swear the sign said it was $7 and some change, which is way lower than I remember paying for the ones that I bought from Walmart previously. So I hope I wasn't just seeing things and that sign wasn't for something else that was near there, but we'll have to see. But the story I was going to tell you about the Mimi dolls, when I was little, I used to have a let me just hold on a second, because okay, when I was little, I used to have I used to go to school on the army base in Korea to like go to like the American schools, and we had to ride a bus to get to school, obviously. And we're in my school, we didn't have yellow school buses in Korea. We had literal like coach buses, like buses, like when you go traveling someplace, we had those kind of buses. I thought that was normal because all of our school buses were like that, but I guess not. It just didn't have a bathroom on it, but it was a big, like a coach kind of a bus that we rode to school. And there was a girl on my bus whose name was Kim, and she was half white and half Korean. So I'm half Korean and half black, and she was half white and half Korean. And there was a lot of half Korean and something kids on my at my school. But anyway, so we rode the same bus, and Kim, she used to bring a Barbie doll onto the bus with her all the freaking time. And of course, I love dolls, so I would basically like beg her to let me sit next to her so I could get a look at her doll. And she would let me hold the doll while we were riding the bus, and I would be just exploring the hell out of this doll. I was so fascinated with like the bent arms that the doll had, because Mimi dolls weren't like that. Mimi dolls have like a rubbery kind of a body where you like, when you like pose it, it just kind of stays in that position and then slowly starts to like go back. But that's kind of how Mimi dolls' bodies were. So when I would see those Barbies and felt like the weight, remember the 90s dolls had like weight to the body, you know, the rubber bodies? It just felt so much more like high quality. And to me, the face sculpt of the doll looked more realistic, like more closer to a person's face than Mimi. Mimi to me had like these big giant eyes, and I always say Mimi to me reminds me of what Asian people assume white people look like. Like the stereotype features of a white person, round eyes and like light skin and thin lips, like whatever that stereotype is what those dolls look like to me. So they didn't appeal to me that much, but it was the only dolls that you would get your hands on easily at the time. So I think that's why I had mostly Mimi dolls to play with, because my aunts, who had nothing to do with the American Army base, they would go shopping for toys for us, you know? My mom is so like out of it when it comes to stuff like that, so she wasn't concerned about what toys we were playing with, but my aunts basically bought most of our toys. So, and of course, Mimi is supposed to be a so-called Korean girl, even though she looked like a strange-looking white chick. But they didn't make Mimi dolls with multiple skin tones. So in order for you to get a doll that had a different skin tone, it couldn't be Mimi. There were no options. So when I saw this girl's Barbies, I just instantly was in love. I was like, what is this? I need this. Where you get this from? I need this. And I just loved those dolls. So yeah, I think that was the beginning stages of my lust for Barbie starting. And then, of course, when I lived in Korea, I never had an actual Barbie of my own. The first Barbie that I got was when I moved to America. My auntie, my dad's sister, she took me and my sister to Toys R Us and was like, yeah, pick whatever you want. Pick one toy each. That's your present. And this aunt, we hadn't seen her since we were like babies, so we don't even like remember her, you know? So she treated us each to a toy, and my first choice, 100%, I didn't even hesitate, went straight to the doll aisle, picked out my first ever official straight up American Barbie doll, and that Barbie was, I don't remember. No, I'm playing. I do remember. The Barbie doll was, I think it's called Glitter Hair Barbie. So it was the one that had the clothes that said LA Looks on it in the front, and I remember having like an orangey top to the top part of her clothes, I think. So the one with the orange was Teresa, right? With like the darker hair. That's the one that I got. She was my first official Barbie doll, and I was in love with her. Like, she went everywhere with me. And they did have the black version of that doll too. I think that the black one had Christy face sculpt, but at the time I didn't like Christy because she had I want to say she had an open mouth smile, if I'm not mistaken, and it just didn't appeal to me. I didn't like the teeth. I didn't want to look at these big gaping smiles. Even back then, I didn't like it. So back then, we didn't have all this variety and choices in the brown dolls. That was it. Asha or Christy pretty much was all we had. So I didn't ever have any black dolls back then. But I made it work with the Hispanic skin tone dolls like Teresa, and I had a real soft spot for redheads, so I think I had a couple of midge dolls too. But that was the beginnings of my doll collecting, I guess you could say. And I never even thought about Mimi like that until I was an adult. Like, once I got my hands on some Barbie dolls, it was like Mimi never even existed. I was like, you can't compare these two. What are you, nuts? And then over the years, I kind of forgot, like, what was the appeal of Mimi? Why did I always play with the Mimi dolls? So out of curiosity, I just ordered the one that I tried out that was from Amazon, but I ain't missing nothing. I don't even know what happened to that doll, y'all. I don't know. Like when I lived in Carolina, I think she just got lost somewhere while we were moving, and nobody was looking for that doll. So I don't know what happened to her. But I still have the clothes from that the fashion packs that she came with. Let's see. Tevin said 90s Barbie's hair was hit or miss back then. Yeah, the one I got on Friday has the caniculin hair too, but luckily it was in good shape. And Sean said, I have to take a nap now. Thank you for today. No worries. Thank you for joining us. It's very late on the East Coast right now. I'm on the West Coast, so we still have a little bit more time before it's tomorrow. But I know for some of you guys it's super late, so I'm going to get off of here. But I just wanted to go over these dolls with you guys so we can have a better look at them and analyze what we think we might be getting and what we might be spending our money on, and you can start saving up now for the ones that you want. And I want to hear you guys' take in the comment section as well. So later, when this video is published, of course, if you're watching this and it's already published and the live is over, please don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comment section. And I welcome all of you guys to answer each other in the comments and talk to each other in the comments, because we're a community over here. It's a safe spot for grown-ups to talk about their love for dolls. And even if it's not Barbie dolls, you know, like I said, Lauren, she collects mostly Disney store dolls. She does have Barbies too, but a lot of her collection has a Disney theme and like a what do you call that, like a colonial kind of time theme. I'm using the word colonial because I can't think of the era that I'm trying to describe, but you know, like the old-fashioned kind of styles. She has a lot of stuff like that. We have a lot of collectors that carry that collect other things besides Barbies, like Tevin, who's in here. He has like American Girl dolls collection. He's got baby dolls, all kinds of different dolls, all different sizes of dolls. We have people that collect ball jointed dolls. So even if it's not something I collect and know anything about, y'all are always free and welcome to talk about whatever you like in the comment section. It's just if you ask me about it, if you were like, what do you think about these BJDs, I'm gonna be like, I don't know. I don't know. What kind of smart doll you think I should? I don't know. I don't know, because I have no information on that stuff. But you more than welcome to talk about it in the comments and answer each other, because you guys have different kinds of collections. I know it's just we have this Barbies in common, right? Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, and I appreciate everybody taking time to hang out with me and go to bed, because people got things to do tomorrow, right? I don't. All right, talk to you later. Have a dolly day. My name is Gypsy. You're watching Broken Dolly TV. I hope you guys subscribe if you're a new viewer, and I'll see you in the next one. If I can figure out how to end this. You say I had that 90s Barbie doll. I had 90s McDonald's place in. Oh, did you know? Okay, I gotta go. Bye, guys. Have a dolly day.